figured we'd start just a little bit early just to chit chat. It's been a busy day with tech. So curious to see what everybody thinks. What did everybody like today? Did you watch everything? I know that I had a lot of feedback from the tech panels and tech things that were going on, and a lot of questions. And I know AI was a question as well that was answered a lot during the tech panel. So does anybody have any questions from things that happened today? And while you guys think, I'm just going to tell you, I got my Friday night bingo month. We're talking about bingo in 2026.
Well, I haven't spoke up yet. So I'll say that I'm a bit overwhelmed. I enjoyed everything that I did have time to see. I had a sick dog and I had to run to the vets and come back home. But I didn't get to see the AI stuff. I'm sorry I missed that. But the tools, I loved everything I saw. But when 30 minutes later, I forgot.
Well, that's me. But I totally understand and appreciate that. And there are a couple ways to get that information. You can go to the website for each. We call them apps. If you hear me call them extension, it's the same thing. If you hear me say the extensions versus the apps. So it's the exact same thing. But on WikiTree, they call them apps. On your, for example, Chrome browser, they call them extensions. And I'm more of a techie in that way, and I stick with the extensions. But and I'm going to drop the links in this chat and also in the Discord for this. But if you go to the individual pages for each app / extension, like for example, WBE, they have great screenshots and everything that you could want to see. Let me put this here. This is WBE. And again, WBE is WikiTree browser extension. It's just.
Hey, Sandy?
Yes.
There is a distinction between an extension and an app. An extension only works in the browser, in certain browsers, but an app will work on all your devices. You don't download anything. You just go and you can use them. So there is a distinction.
Very good point. And also, not all of them work with native. I think that's the best way to say it. Apple products. B, for example, you'll need some type of Chrome emulator if you have an Apple product to work B. And it's not that they don't want it to or anything like that. It does cost money to put things on the Apple system. And I believe somebody will have to help me out because I'm not an Apple product person, but I do believe for Sourcer, the WikiTree Sourcer, to be on an Apple product, if you download it from Apple product, it's $4.99, something like that. And it's not so Rob, the creator, can make big bucks and have swimming pools and Lamborghinis and things like that. Apple charges him. And he's got to also have the equipment to test and build Sourcer. So that's why WikiTree browser extension is free on Apple products. And then B is not available for straight download from the Apple store. It is free, but you'll need a Chrome type of browser for that.
I'm good there. I'm not using Apple products, and I did get the extensions added.
Okay, good.
And then after that, it's like, and then I turned everything on, and then I got like, whoa, no.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
One at a time.
It can get a lot. And I would do one section. If you notice at the very top of WikiTree browser extension, there's global, there's editing, there's little words, global, editing, navigation, other. If you just go slow and just do like one, say a week or however you want to do it, just look at the global, turn them on, see what happens, turn them off, read, but also go to the pages for those particular apps, and you'll be able to see a lot of detail. I'm looking at it now. I know that Murray, I'd love to see Murray in here. Sometimes he's in the Q parties. I'd love to see Murray. Murray writes a ton of the information that you see here in the screenshots. I know Lisa started doing it for Hacktoberfest as well, but the screenshots really help. I don't really promote it much because I haven't upgraded it to the new look and feel, but I also have YouTube shorts for a lot of things on Sorcerer, a lot of things on WikiTree browser extension as well. Flo from Germany, we would code and do things together, come up with ideas and code and test, and Ian would help us. So when they would get done with the final coding or the final testing of it, then I would do a little short video of it, because most people are visual these days. The only reason why I haven't really promoted it out there, it's not a money making thing. It's all free or whatever. The only reason I put it out there is because it's based off of the old look and feel WikiTree, and I was worried that it might confuse people, but the basics are the same. So I can drop the links in Discord chat afterwards for that. But I think you bring up a really good point. And if for those of you that watched the tech panel towards the end, I was asked by Greg for like a final word. And my final word was walk away. Don't get overwhelmed by it, because if you get overwhelmed by it, I'm worried that you won't come back, because you'll say, like my father-in-law says this all the time, technology has passed me by, I give up, I'm not bothered. And I don't want you to do that. WikiTree browser extension is loaded with goodies, loaded. But when you need to turn it off, like you suggested, turn it off, take little sections at a time, reach out to people in your project. They can probably tell you which ones are the ones that they use the most. Reach out to me. I'm always on Discord as well, and say, what are your top 10 favorites maybe that you use. Reach out to the developers, Rob, Ian, Rial. They do Rob does Sorcerer, Ian and Rial do WBE and B. So, and they're always able to help. G2G, our forum that we have, if you have a question and nobody's answering it or nobody's around to answer it, go to G2G. The only request that I have, though, is if you ask a question on G2G, you'll notice there's down towards the bottom before you hit post, it says tags. And if you type in WBE, it'll pop up where you click on it and leave that tag on your question on G2G. And as soon as you do that, I guarantee you, Ian Bacall is going to see it and he's going to be there in a flash. He's really good. Rob too. They're really, really good at helping. But
as long as they're not sleeping.
Do they sleep? I know Ian once told me I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I'm like, you're going to be dead if you don't sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, any other questions? Don't get overwhelmed. Really, it's walk away, and then come back with a fresh look.
What does B do besides make, I use it to do cemetery cat, but other than that, what does B do?
Well, and so just so I'll go over a little bit. I don't want to go into too much of demos with everything, because we did that this morning and I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm really worried I'm going to overwhelm you. B used to be a lot of goodies in it, and then Ian was moving things out of B into WikiTree browser extension, and that happened, and it still kind of happened. But what B does offer now, let me show you. So it does do the find a grave, but it has a couple different features, such as my places. So a good example would be Poland. I think we talked about that yesterday, or when we were talking about the ethnicity. For a short period of time, there was no Poland. For example, they're Germany occupied. So you could type in and be my places. You could type in, I want Poland, which was no longer Poland, to be named whatever it was at the time during World War II. And then it'll show up during your profile creation, a little drop down box by the location of birth and death, those two little location areas, and you can pick and choose from your box. What I use it for is the Holocaust Project, because they're different locations and they're very specific wording that the Holocaust Project wants us to use for the locations of camps. And it's a foreign language that I don't speak. So instead of typing it in every single time, because it's not going to auto pop up for me, I use Be My Places for that. And again, that's on B site. All the links that I just put in the chat will also put in Discord. That's one of the big things that I use B for. Who in here does a lot of notable work? Does anybody do a lot of notable work where you go to Wikipedia?
I think Darren may be the
Darren,
only one.
I was going to say, I do a lot of notable work
Oh,
and
yeah.
and I do a lot of work with locations, different locations, like one place studies, things like that. So B has a couple little tricks for Wikipedia. And like I said, I don't want to demo them tonight because I'm afraid that I'm going to really overwhelm you. And this was kind of just a general chat more than a demo. But if you have questions about how to pull the Wikidata Wikipedia link, then it's really similar how we did this morning with the Ancestry links. B helps you with that as well. I'm trying to think. Eric, I know you're in here. Eric Stanford, do you use B for anything else in particular?
He said the cemetery categories, but
Yeah.
also the I like the icons that you can see on Ancestry, find a grave, and then the Wikipedia link.
You know, I should show that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah,
I will
that's
show
what I
that
added in the
in the
chat.
chat.
Yeah.
It will add little icons on Wikipedia if they have a profile. You do have to have it turned on as a
Yeah.
setting, but it will show an icon next to any links on Wikipedia that have WikiTree profiles. On Find a Grave, it will add a little icon next to any memorial that has a memorial listed on a WikiTree page.
So
You
I'll
can
bring-
also set it up to connect to your own Ancestry account, where
Yeah.
all of the people that you have in your tree on Ancestry can be linked to WikiTree, and that will show you where you might be missing people, or if you have a lot of different data, like you're using different names or something, and it's not picking them up, it gives you a way to look at places that you might not need to fix some things between the two trees to have them consistent. So those are the things I really like, other than the cemetery creator,
Yeah.
which is a great tool.
And if you notice, I've got a cemetery up, and you see the little globe. I hope everybody can see my screen, right? Everybody can see the screen. Okay, you see that little globe? That's the WikiTree logo, the WikiTree globe, and that tells me that this profile is on WikiTree. So if I click on it, this is just an overlay. If you have that feature on selected on in B, this is just an overlay. So if you go to your neighbor's house and they say, hey, I don't have that WikiTree thing on Find a Grave, this is not a Find a Grave thing. This is a WikiTree B thing that I believe Florian from Germany programmed in. And you'll notice, see all the globes? And just as Eric mentioned, see where I'm missing? I'm missing 3 people. So that tells, and there's one over here that I could add to WikiTree. This is fantastic for the connectathons. This is really great for the connectathons, but this shows me where I'm missing, where I already have a profile. And then this is again an overlay if you have it turned on with B. This is not on Find a Grave. Find a Grave is not in this big partnership where they're going to show all of WikiTree profiles. This is something that our volunteer programmer with WikiTree created just to give us a quick look. So if I click on this,
Sandy,
it brings me right there. Yes, Tommy.
were we supposed to be seeing your screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys can't see it?
I see it.
I see it.
I saw it.
I see it.
Oh, well, carry on. I don't see it, but that's fine. I know what you're talking about.
That's interesting.
But that's kind of one of the cool things with B, especially for thons, or if you're wanting to see if you have all your family added for your CC7, things like that. And if I click on that, it'll bring me right here to Bernard's profile on WikiTree.
And Sandy, just so people
Mhm.
know, if you go back the page to the cemetery, you were clicking on the WikiTree little tab there. You don't even
Yes.
have to do that. If you click on the icon, it should also, like if you go to one of the other family members down below
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and just click on the icon, that should also bring you directly to WikiTree. So it saves a step instead of having to go to the profile.
Last time I tried doing that, but it didn't take me to the WikiTree profile.
I'm not sure, but also we talked this morning about making sure that your extensions are updated. So
Yeah.
make sure your extensions are updated by clicking on the little extension puzzle piece and say, and then I don't have my browser set up because I wasn't going to do demos. I apologize, but manage extensions and update. But this, again, I just really, because somebody's gonna say, I went to the library, I pulled up Find a Grave, and it did not have that WikiTree button, and I'm really upset and I want to see it. Remember, this is because I have B installed on my computer, and I have that option selected. And I did mention, I'll go under edit. I did mention my places. This is my places. Chances are you do not have my places unless you have B and you use this a lot. So what my places does, everything's done in this little cogwheel, and you can see where I have some pretty tricky locations that I do work with the Holocaust Project on. I can't keep typing those in every time, and they're not going to automatically show up and feed to me. And I know what I need to do, and it's just really tricky. Like, I don't have a German keyboard, for example, so I don't have the characters, but I have it programmed in my places because I have this turned on with WikiTree B. If it's not turned on in B, you're never going to see this. You're never going to see this thing. And something else that is with B, that it's still in production, it's still being used, it's still being updated. As saying, I still use it. One of my favorite things, if you are from West Virginia, you'll know that. And Tommy, I'm thinking of you too right now with all the different name changes that we were talking about yesterday with Louisiana. But West Virginia wasn't always a state. It was Virginia and then became West Virginia. So what I like to do is, if I'm unsure of a location, because I have this Wikidata check for locations turned on in B, you'll see this little Wikidata icon. If I click on it, it just gives me a couple ideas that it's pulling from Wikidata, which is kind of in partnership with Wikipedia. And I can say, based on this time frame, it's telling me that it is not Virginia. It is truly, in fact, West Virginia. That's why it's giving me the orange. And if I pick Braxton County, West Virginia, for example, see how it turned green? It said, yeah, you picked the right one. This is correct. Now, it's not smart enough to know that this particular individual truly did live in that county. It's just telling me that I picked the correct location based off of this time frame. But I got to go down to the sources, right? We're all about sources. We got to do our research. So I'm all about sources. But I think this probably overwhelmed everybody, and I don't want to do that. So let me back one out. I just want to, Nancy asked what some of the things are that we use B for. B is kind of like a catch-all place to use some things that maybe the entire population of WikiTree might not use yet. And if they do and there's more use for it, then Ian will pull it over into WikiTree browser extension. So it's kind of like a sandbox if you think of trying out things. But I do love it for that cemetery. Okay. Did that help, Nancy? Did I answer? Okay, good. Any other questions?
Yeah, Amanda said, did anyone else find they had to add the WikiTree ID to Ancestry before it would show up? Amanda, I'm assuming you're talking
Yes.
about before the little globe icon for WikiTree
Yeah.
shows on the profiles.
I'll show you where. Let me bring it up. You got to connect it. My tree is not connected. Let me share my screen.
She said yes.
Yeah. My tree is not connected, so this is not going to be a really great example. But what she's talking about, I believe, is this up here. If I had my tree connected through B, it would show me the little globes. See how the globes are here, but they're not highlighted because I don't have my tree connected yet through B. Because I already know these people are in fact in, but I gotta do a little bit of setup.
I just let Rob in.
Yay. Okay, so if you guys have questions about Sorcerer, now's the time. Hi, Rob. What you eating?
Hello, Rob.
Hi. Now I'm eating a cookie.
There we go. So, Rob, we have about 26 questions on Sorcerer. You ready?
I can't understand it. So I'm going to ask, how do you use it with family search?
With family search, it depends what you want to do. I mean, the main thing Sourcer does is create citations. Well, that was its initial thing. So if you want to create citations for family search records, that's one thing you can do. But if you want to transfer profiles from family search to WikiTree, that's another thing it can do.
I didn't know you could take a profile and bring it over. I didn't remember that. Thank you.
Yeah, you can do that from family search or Ancestry or Find My Past, things like that. It just saves you typing. Like most things in Sorcerer, it's all about saving you typing. It'll automatically fill out all the fields when you add a profile, and it can automatically add all the sources as well.
I was just going to say, when you bring over an entire profile, what are you bringing with it? Are you bringing, I mean, I assume you're bringing any errors. Are you bringing all the sources? What's coming?
Yeah,
Good question.
there are different options, so you can turn different things on, but if you turn everything on, it will, you go to the family search profile and say save person data, and it saves everything it can from the profile, like birth, name, birth date, place, death date, death place, and then it will also extract all the sources, and then it will try and build narratives for all the sources. So then when you go to WikiTree and say add new person, you say fill the fields from the saved person data. It will fill in all the fields on the add person form, and it will also generate a biography with all the sources in it.
Amazing. If you could show me step by step, I'd appreciate, but I know you can't do that right now, could you? But I do remember that the data, saving the data, I saw that.
Yeah, the saved person data is one of the options when you're on a profile in family search.
Is there a way with Sorcerer to save the data and the sources? But then I find that sometimes when there's too many sources, you have to go through and erase some of them. Like if there's send a bunch of marriages, might show you more than one marriage. So I've been doing them one at a time just to go through them to make sure that I'm not being redundant about things.
Well, there's I don't know if I can share my screen, but I could show.
Yeah, let me go ahead and make that available for you.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Now it's showing up. It should show up.
Okay. So let me see.
Do you see an option to share?
Okay, so no, I can show you the options screen for Saucer. Then out the way. So when you want to add a profile, there's these add merge options, and you can it'll work with add person, this one, or merge edit. But say you want to do add person, there's this option here is important. Automatically do build all citations during the save person data. So you should check that if you want it to generate all the sources and narratives. So that's using the build all citations option. So if we click on build all citations, so one question was about there being too many sources. Sometimes if you go to Ancestry or Sound Research, there are a lot of sources attached to the profile that are really baptisms of all the children and things like that. So you don't, if you click this one here, exclude sources which aren't, this person isn't the primary person. It'll exclude all the baptisms of children and things like that, marriages of parents, such. And then this this option here, say that you were saying there were 3 marriages and you didn't want like 3 different narratives for the marriage. This one tries to merge them, but it's fairly conservative about it. So if you had 3 marriage sources and one of them had a different date or the name was different, it won't merge them, just to avoid, generating an incorrect narrative. I don't know if I've got an example of I could show you on. So here's a profile. Sign in. You can be either on the details page or the sources page, and then you can go here and do save person data. And because I have that option set to generate all the sources, it took a few seconds and generated 4 citations because there are 4 sources on here, which is like a census, 2 censuses and a marriage, or 3 censuses and a marriage. And then if I went over to WikiTree and just for an example said, add a brand new person. You then have this option here, set the fields from the person data. You can also use fields from a citation, which is why there's 2 options. It just remembers the last person data you saved and the last citation you built. So if we do this, you can see it filled in name, middle name, last name, birth date. And then if I continue, it'll say there's one definite match here because this guy's already on WikiTree. But if I just say none of those is a match, you'll see here, if I grow this, it's filled in the biography. Now there's an option if you want this line on the beginning. If you're adding this as a child of someone, it would automatically put links to the parents, and then it'll try to create decent citations for narratives and so on, and tables and so on. But I
Rob,
won't
can you scroll up just a tiny bit to I think it was the second, on the page that you're on, just scroll up a little bit how it says this person was in the record, just so people could. Yeah, how it says it was in the record. So
yeah, that one is a weird one because it didn't create a proper narrative.
That's where somebody just like, sometimes if they attach the record and it doesn't actually have all the details in the record,
right,
when they attach it, then it doesn't have all the data to actually make the.
Yeah, because these are proper census records. There's something weird about this one.
Yeah, sometimes people add the record from Ancestry onto Family Search, so you may also get. So
this may be like a defunct record or something, because you can see this source says we're unable to display the record, so Family Search can't even access this for some reason. So it's a record that's been removed. So that's why that one happened.
So then the data is not there to make the citation.
Yeah, and like Rob has said before at times, that the narrative is just basically a starting point for people. You can change it to, however much information that you want in it.
Yeah, there's tons of options to generate narrative differently, but as Kathy says, it's just, don't think of it as like this is what the final narrative should look like. It's just like you can choose the options that make it easiest for you to then edit it into whatever you want it to be.
How do you get to this WikiTree source or user options? Where?
On any web page, doesn't matter what web page, you can go. Well, I eat my words. If it's a broken web page for a site that Sourcer supports, no, but any site that Sourcer supports, or just some site it doesn't support, you can go click on the one icon here, and then go to options.
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 So
Okay.
that's always on the menu,
Right.
and
Well,
that opens this.
And Rob has really great
Okay.
help pages for helping you navigate how to set it up and everything.
Yeah.
It's,
If
you
you
can
have
have
questions,
some
yeah.
videos.
If you have questions about Source, so there's this page here, which is just space WikiTree Sourcer. You can get to it, I think, through the apps page. You can go there, and it will take you this WikiTree Sourcer to here. And then this has links to the user guide, release notes, frequently asked questions. It's not quite up to the level of Murray's documentation for WBE, but it's most questions that I've been asked have answered here. And then they can be a little hidden. There's a whole, if you go to user guide and you want to know how to add profiles from another site, there's this section here. Adding profiles from a profile on another, or from a record. And then there's this actually, if you're interested in transferring profiles from Ancestry, I actually wrote a specific guide about that, because people are always asking on GGG, like, how do I transfer my tree from Ancestry? So there's this page here that I wrote all about that. If you don't want to use a GEDCOM, this is how to use. And I even
and you guys do that. You show how to do stuff too on the Tech Talk, which is really helpful.
Yeah, there is. I keep meaning to create some more videos, but there's this video here on the main Sourcer page. So it's like a 20-minute video on Sourcer. It's a couple of years old now. And I keep thinking I'll generate a whole series of like 5-minute videos on the specific parts of Sourcer, but then I always get busy writing new features instead of making videos.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, there's a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
The first one is, are there any tools that are available to do this? What Sourcer does with Ancestry and Family Search for MyHeritage. I'm sure it's on your list, Rob.
Yeah, I did implement it for MyHeritage as well, but I did let my subscription lapse, so I probably can't demo it, but I don't know if I have any links in my bookmarks for MyHeritage. No. But yeah, the Save Person data does work on MyHeritage, but I'm not sure that it extracts the sources. I don't remember if I got that far with it.
Okay.
And then we're going to want to pivot out of Sourcer, because this is actually for sharing, for everybody to share.
Yeah, I can
their favorite genealogy gadgets, apps, and websites besides WikiTree.
Let me see if I can figure out how to stop sharing my screen.
Sharing tips on how you organize your research digitally, tricks for blending old school genealogy with modern tech. So, and a bonus, show us a tool you can't live without, even if it's something simple like your favorite note-taking app or a go-to search trick. So we want to hear from you all about what you like to use. So what do y'all have to say? What are your favorite genealogy gadgets?
Well, all right. By the way, hi, I'm here. I've been away for a while. Yes, hi. Yes, I've been listening this whole time. I've been watching you. Every move you
Uh-oh.
make, every step you take. That song was on the radio as we were coming home.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I don't like that song. But hey, it's Sting. Anyway, the gadgets I use isn't necessarily on WikiTree. I use the DNA Painter's What Are the Odds feature. And I like that the most. I couldn't really I tried to use GEDmatch, but I couldn't really too complicated for me, I guess. So I used the DNA Painter. It seems a lot more easier for me, you know. And but for the apps, I use the browser extension quite a bit, and all that stuff. But I still have to figure out how to do.
Besides WikiTree, what
Oh,
tools and
oh yeah,
gadgets and apps and websites do
Yeah.
you like to use?
yeah. It's the DNA Painter app. That's that I use the most. I have a hungry cat here. What? Really?
So what's in everybody's toolboxes?
I'll see your hungry cat and raise you too.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Murray.
Well,
Go ahead, Murray.
I use Family Tree Maker a bit, and one of the things that I like about Family Tree Maker is that you can find a family and a list of descendants, and you can see all the descendants of a fourth great grandfather or something like that, and you can make a group and you can see what's common about all the people in that group. So I find that very useful. But I haven't used it in a little while because, well, I just can't keep my ancestry tree up to date with my WikiTree tree.
I hear you. All right, Chris Wine, do you want to share what you were saying in the chat, or do you want me to share your comment? Okay, she says she uses West Virginia Heritage website a lot. Has anybody else used that one? I haven't heard of that.
I've used it.
I have too.
Is that you, Kathy? Oh,
Yeah,
Kurt?
that's
Okay.
me. Yeah, I've used it. It's pretty good.
Are you talking about the Culture and Archives place that I used to use a lot, but they changed it and I haven't used it for a long time? Or is this something totally different?
I think that's it. Sounds familiar. Culture. I think that's right.
Okay, yeah, it's good for basic vital records.
Yeah.
Chris says they have fixed the issue. I'm not sure what the issue was, but oh, John Tyner, do you want to share about the GRO UK website?
Yeah, for some records on Ancestry or other websites, they don't list the mother's maiden name for birth records. So if you ever come across that issue, then the GRO shows the mother's maiden name. So that's help with ordering birth certificates for the right people.
Right.
Yeah, the GRO
Yeah, that makes
is
a big difference.
GRO is really a go-to site for the England project, and
Yes, it
Sourcer
is.
works with that.
Yep.
So there was a feature added to Sourcer. I added maybe less than a year ago, which was a smart search feature, because the search on GRO is pretty limited. You can only search a 5-year range. So I added a feature to Sourcer where it'll search any range you like by making multiple requests to the GRO.
That's good to know.
Is Cohen in here? No, doesn't look like it. Any of the Dutch members? He shared when we did a research party for the Dutch project, I think it was like a year ago, he shared one of the Dutch websites. I had no idea, and the search was really, really awesome, the way he was using this search. I'll share that video. That was really cool. If anybody has ancestors, Dutch ancestors, that was an awesome research party for doing that research. Let's see. Anybody else have a tool they want to? Yeah, I think that was it.
Actually, there's a new.
Where was we?
Sorry, Azure.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a new
Go
tool
ahead.
on GED Match that they just
Uh-huh.
introduced about a week ago, and it's called Auto Segment Split, and it's in the tier 1 tools, and it's similar to the auto segment tool that they had previously, but this one actually splits or it tries to separate your paternal versus your maternal matches, and then it creates clusters and shows you how they all match together. And if you give me a second, I'll show you. Am I allowed to share?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, so here's the here's the auto segment split, and so you put in a kit number. It doesn't have to be yours, but in this case it is. Okay, and you can say, for example, that you want only people who you don't want matches. You don't want your brother. You don't want your mother and father, etc. So 500 centimeters gets you aunts and uncles and cousins. The lower threshold match and the minimum segment threshold. So the lower threshold match would say, show me only people where I have a total centimorgans of at least 20 or 30 or something like that. But give me matches among those who have 10 centimorgans. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna go here to 30, let's say. Okay, so then I submit that, and it's gonna process it, and then I'm gonna. So then I have to download the results, and that happens fairly quickly. So there we go. And then it creates an HTML file on my computer. And then we see that we've got segments here. So in the first cluster number 1 on chromosome 1, I have these people who are matching. So these two are known cousins, and this is in a different color. So it says, well, we're not sure. We don't necessarily know that these are 100% matching paternal and maternal. And besides, it's way off to the side there. You can see that where it matches on the chromosome. And so as you scroll through, you can see that there's different chromosomes, and you're seeing the different colors are telling you these are a group that we believe are together, and the separate color, this is the group that we think is different. So in this case, I actually know that these are on my paternal side, and this is on my maternal side. And so I can go through and see the matches and see how they stack up. And I only did 500, and I did limit it to 30, so that's why we're getting a small set. But I have other ones that I've done before that have a much longer list. So I'll stop sharing. So that can help you with finding who your matches are and where they belong. And
Okay, so we have a lot of entries in the chat. Kathy and Darren, you had to share those?
I'll share the one that I use quite a bit. So this is injured ancestry or Ash, and it's done by a good guy called no, I've lost his name. Right, so I've just put my father's name in there, and I picking up anyone who's got David Kellett. So it's like there's a website that's got Roll of Honor and those cousins. It's picking up the Cenotaph. New Zealand marriages. One thing is that the father's not going to be listed on there just yet. So sort of privacy restrictions. Like even this one is like that comes up. That is my father in 1966, and it's like if I didn't go onto this website and do a search for him, I wouldn't know. Whoops. Know that it's spelled there. So I do have to sort of have a look and see if I can actually use the photo. It's all three options, and it's like it helps identify stuff that oh, I didn't know that there was that website. But yeah, it's very good.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. So Amanda uses the GRO, which was mentioned earlier, and then for Scotland, there's Scotland's people, which is used with that. You can have a free account, but if you want to look at the image of the certificate, you do need to have credits. So you do need to buy credits in order to actually be able to see them. Ireland has was it the Genealogy Ireland, is that? Because I think Ireland has a couple, don't you, John, that you guys use over there?
Yeah, there's Roots Ireland, which is a pay-per-view site, and there's irishgenealogy.ie, which is free to view certificates, births, marriages, and deaths.
Okay. And then she also uses the National Archives of Australia, the Public Records Office of Victoria, the State Library of South Australia, the government, the different states, and then Trove is the newspaper, which has a lot of stuff in it. I know that what is it, Legacy or whatever, there's webinars that they've done for Australia, and they have some really good webinars, and I can't think of the name of the website.
It'll come to you, I'm sure, in time. Just let it come naturally. I forgot to mention, I also like the Pro Tools on Ancestry. Those are really good. Yeah, so you get to compare your DNA matches, and it's like the same gimmick on MyHeritage, where you can. Oh, I don't have the tools active right now. Kathy, do you have access to Ancestry or Pro Tools?
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah.
No, I don't, and I've been trying to get the Pro Tools back since it's on sale right now, but it's not letting me, so I have to call them to find out.
It's
But I
okay. It's
don't
okay.
have it.
I'll describe because I don't have it right now either. Basically, the Pro Tools is just allows you to look at a match and see how much that match matches somebody else. Say you have your mom, okay, and you want to see how much she matches your first cousin once removed. If you don't have access to that kit, you can see, oh, that person matches X amount right here. But using the Pro Tools, you can actually use it to fill in stuff for the whatchamacallit, I'm losing the plot here. The thing on Watto, where you can show the odds of a certain relationship, you can actually fill it in and see, okay, this person is the half sister of known second cousin, right? Based on all the information you put in. But the thing is, you have to know where everybody goes in the tree in order to use it properly.
Yeah, if you go to your match and go to the shared matches with the Pro Tools, you can see how the shared matches match your match that you're looking at. And I had a bunch of people that I thought were related somehow on my maternal side. And when I had the Pro Tools, it helped me say this was mom, and then these were her daughters.
Yeah.
Because
I
of
also
how
have, yeah.
they matched her.
Well, what I can show you is I have a spreadsheet of all my DNA matches. I use spreadsheet too. I have a ton of spreadsheets, like a lot of spreadsheets. I don't know. Side note, my brother's like, why do you have all this genealogy stuff? Like, so I can analyze things. So, if I can share my screen. All right, share screen. All right, am I sharing the screen yet? Share screen, please. There we go. See, I have a whole spreadsheet and I have all my DNA matches right here, and I can just like, show all the matches, all what they all connect to. See, like that. I'm trying not to show any of the names, obviously, but
yeah.
Looks like Laurel has something she wants to share. Laurel, you want to take it away?
Trying to share the right screen. There are two things that I do. That's not what I wanted to share, but that's okay. Or that. One is I have two Google profiles. So I have a separate profile just for genealogy, and that's where all of my links are here, all of my extensions. This is only for genealogy. So everything is here. My regular Chrome profile doesn't have any of this. So work or personal life go in the other profile, and everything genealogy goes in here. The browser, I find the browser loads faster when it's not loading all of my genealogy stuff plus all of my regular stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
100%.
Genealogy Assistant is this great little add-in that does all sorts of things. So I've just removed a whole bunch of stuff from Ancestry because they pissed me off. So I'm not using them at the moment. But it covers a bunch of things in Ancestry, in MyHeritage, and in Family Search. And it will do things like Ancestry used to have the ability where you could just select everyone on the page. And that doesn't always appear when you're looking at hints, for example. It will do that. Just looking for the DNA stuff here. So you can select all matches, for example, without having to page.
Oh.
And then if anybody is sharing stuff, and it's like some third-party tool like this, please, if you can add the link into the chat, because then when I get the video uploaded to YouTube, I'll add this chat transcript to it as well, so that people have access to that information.
I need to ask a question.
Old and dead with hints. That's what I'm looking for. Old and dead with hints. So he was born in 1834. You can see this screen now? Benjamin Labar?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
So if I were to go in here and choose something like the census, which typically has family members listed in it. Of course, I managed to pick one where he's not married. There we go. So we've got a bunch of family members here. For a long time, so you can go through and you can select all of these people, but one of the things that Genealogy Assistant does is it gives me all of these buttons on the DNA page and here that lets me just select all. So when it comes to DNA matches, you can select all and you don't have to page through things. It pages through for you. One of the
nice.
cool things that it does is if you're looking at, and I haven't got it turned on. I wish there were a select all button here. Let's see if I can do this because this is makes me very happy when having to page through things. There we go. So it adds these buttons to jump forward and backward in documents. So I can go back 10 pages or forward 25 pages without having to go one by one by one by one.
That is nice.
Between selecting all and moving through pages, I
Yeah.
think I actually pay for this one. I'll put the link in. It's like $4 a month or something. Even without the payment, it's still fairly useful. But between those two things, and this will appear on Family Search as well, and I think on My Heritage.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Can
Yeah,
you drop
it
that
just-
link in the?
I can. So I will do that. So that's so I don't normally demo stuff. There's a blurring tool in Genealogy Assistant that I didn't use that I believe blurs exactly all of the things that we were worried about before.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
I almost never present. So if I'm taking screenshots of things, I will go ahead and blur out what I want on my own. But there is actually a blurring tool here as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was actually going to show Antenati, which is also what the Italy project uses for finding all the birth, marriages, and death records in Italy. But I think that's maybe a little too nichey for this chat. Might be better served for the Italy project thing.
Research
on Saturday.
party. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Does
will we
anybody
show?
else have tools that they want to share?
Oh, Azure.
Yeah.
I found what happened to West Virginia website is about a year and a half ago. They had a bad storm in West Virginia. Their system got fried and they lost all their genealogy information online. So they had to they had to redo everything. They lost their server, they lost all their information. So they had to have a big upgrade with their system. And it took them like a year and a half to redo it all.
That's crazy.
And there is also people doing information in Braxton County. You can jump online and go to this one Braxton photos and history or something like that. And you can find a bunch of ancestors of ours. They have photographs, pictures of old houses and everything. They even have a program that the school did from 1938, has pictures of all the students and a program of their pictures. It is great. I just found out. It was really cool. I'll just send you the link.
At one Zoom party or something, somebody shared the UK photo archive. They have a lot of photos on there. That's a really great website. I dropped it in the chat. Does anybody have any tools they use for organizing their research?
Microsoft Word, maybe?
Digitally?
Oh, no,
I know earlier they were talking about Evernote in the Genealogy Tech Talk panel. I don't know if anybody got to see that, but that was the one of the.
I have folders on my computer of all the photos and articles I've downloaded. I don't really have like Evernote or anything like that. I just put them all in folders, subfolders. Yeah, a lot of looking at my genealogy folder right now. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I use a clipboard app because I'm on a Mac. I use Copyless too, so it lets me have a favorites folder where I can save things.
Yeah.
I use that a lot.
You use the WikiTree, you use the WikiTree browser extension to copy paste all the sources from Family Search onto WikiTree, which makes it a lot easier.
Azure.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. That's awesome. Do you guys all see that in the chat? The image that Laurel is sharing?
Oh yeah.
In the chat, the blurring capability there. That's really cool.
That's some solid editing there.
What do you
The image is in the live chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically blurring out the private information. That program that she was talking about, the genealogy.
Azure.
Yeah.
I have a tool that I use a lot.
Yes, Judy, please share that tool. That's a really great tool to share. Cherry Tree. So can you drop the link for that into the chat?
Yes, I will. There's a separate link for the Mac.
Yeah.
But it's also.
Are you able to share your screen and show how you use that, Judy? It's an awesome app.
Yeah. Here's an example of where I use it with. This shows the oh, no, I can't. Stickers for Appalachia, and it shows the states, and it shows the counties that are appropriate for using it. And then it shows the actual sticker for the county, for the Appalachia.
Oh. Okay.
And then for military, I have, for example, War of 1812. Anyway, I'll put this in the chat.
Okay.
Or I'll put it out on Discord, whichever would be more appropriate. Because this is going to go away.
Okay, is that the open source here I found?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's a free app.
Yeah, I see what you're. Sorry.
It'd probably be. I mean, you can drop the link in here, Judy, and if you drop it in here, then I'll just go put it over on Discord.
But this is the way I keep track of a lot of things, categories and stickers, and it's very easy to use. If you want my database, just ask me and I'll send it over. I'm Flamer1. Yes, I added all those categories and stickers myself.
Okay, as a reminder before we get out of here for tomorrow is the symposium. So the only thing that's going on tomorrow is really the symposium. It starts at 8 and then it goes and then they'll do the roundup tomorrow. So the only thing going on tomorrow is the symposium. I just drank the link in chat for the schedule. Yes, it starts at midnight for those over in the other part of the world.
That's awful early. I used to get up at 6 a.m. Now I can't get up at 6 a.m. anymore.
And then for those that are interested, I'm also dropping the link that shows the speakers and just gives a little blurb about them.
Okay.
Darren, what time does it start for you? Amanda's asking.
10 p.m. I'm not actually sure. I have to sort of double check.
Yeah, because it starts 8 a.m. Eastern.
Where's the
Okay. Well, I gotta get going. You guys have fun.
I've got to go soon. So.
Nice talking with you guys. Talk to you later.